Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jake and you're here for another reaction, and today it's something a bit different. So this is a little video I'm making prior to all the reactions that'll be coming forward for Doctor Who. Now, just a little update is that I've seen all of Doctor Who, especially mainly New Who. The old Who I've tried getting into. I watch bits and pieces, but you know, it's something that can't keep me there for too long before I'm like. Whereas New Who, it gripped me, and I love it. It's yeah. So look over my shoulder basically explains it. So what happened was that when I started to get into Doctor Who, I was telling so many people about it. It was at the height of it. It was when Tennant was at his height. And as it went on, I then, obviously when Tennant left, like a bunch of people were like, oh no, who is this guy that's replaced Tennant? He's not the same, he'll never be the same. And then I kept on watching. And there was part of my generation, people didn't return. I did return. And I was casually watching. And yeah, and then eventually it gripped me again, and it was in season 6 that it changed for me with that when I realised I was like, oh, okay, cool, this thing's like, you know, it's more than just one person. And for me, for some reason, I don't know why it took me not season 5 but season 6, it was the Doctor's wife, and it was so impactful on me. I was like, right, this guy is 100,000,000% the Doctor, and everything I felt prior to this, even though I enjoyed season 5 and everything, the episodes before that as well, I was like, but I was always still like sort of Tennant's the be all and end all of Doctor Who. I was then like, all right, okay, no, this is it. This guy's Doctor Who, you know. And then after that, it's just, yeah, that's when I think my obsession went a bit too much, and it was just any chance it was I'd talk about it, I'd try and push people to watch it. And I know it's not a show for everyone. There's people that I now know after failed attempts, but what I did know is that I did know my little brother would like it. In the sense that it wouldn't be his favourite show, but it'll be dorky enough for him to be like, what? This is ridiculous, but it's fun, I guess. So I was like, all right, I think I want to get him into it. But then at the same time, I wanted to then get into doing my recordings for Doctor, for like, as in to do this. I always wanted to do YouTubing. Didn't really do it for ages because, you know, for some reason, the people that I sort of hung around with, they sort of were like a bit sort of, But then a new age of the new generation came through, and streaming was huge, and YouTube was huge in the sense that people were making loads of money off it, and then people's ideas changed, and that's shame on me for not doing it sooner, I guess, because I could have made loads of money right now, but I didn't do it. So then I thought I'll get into it, and then I basically wanted to do my whole channel surrounded by Doctor Who, and yes. And I wanted it to be a whole thing to do with Doctor reactions. But then I realised, who's going to want to watch a guy that's already seen it do reactions? And at the time, and still am, I'm not the biggest fan of Chibnall's era. I still watch it, still enjoyed it. I thought Whittaker was great. But I was like, I'm not really. I don't want people to be watching me watch this like it's indecisive. Like then be happy, and then also like, like, you know. So I thought I'd basically keep it on the back burner, and then I was like, well, actually no, I'll get my little brother to watch it. This is it. He's a stroke of genius. I can be with him. He watches it and react to it, and fantastic. And then, but this was obviously at the start where everything I was doing on was shite. Let's say, I had my camera on my blinds because it was like one of the clip-ons. So, and my windows were open, or if they weren't open, then even if they weren't, the fucking blinds would just like. So you're watching a reaction like like that. And all my videos I did, they just weren't good quality. I did it on a laptop rather than. Since then, I've built my own PC. Don't get me wrong. I'm still like, I'm not a genius, but I built my own PC, and it's been able to hold like some form of power when it comes to recordings. Because at points when I was doing recordings, yeah, it just like it would be out of sync. Still alive.
How's he already in a coffin?
Remember the guy that had his neck broken?
Yeah.
So that happened obviously early. So obviously they just threw him inside a. Then the first episode it was like it was all choppy. I remember the first episode I did the recording. I did it off of the internet on the laptop, which gave us such bad bandwidth that it was like a shutter camera was like going like on and off. And then the actual video was lagging whenever I did the editing, so things were out of sync, and I was like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? And then my setup was so shit that I ended up like at one point hitting my fucking table like that and laughing, and then the mic was off for the rest of the episode.
She's been evicted from life.
No one programmed the transmat, no one selected the new contestants.
And I mean that probably happened about 15 minutes in, and it was in the penultimate episode, and it's like, this is a big fucking episode for my mic to not work, and I was like, I'm putting this on the back burner. I need to get this all sort of set up and I know what I'm doing with. And then I decided, you know what, because he was busy, my little brother, for a while, and I decided I'm gonna do a recording with Marvel, because I love Marvel. I think it's great. And DC, but Marvel's one thing that was bringing out TV shows, and Moon Knight was coming out, and I was like, I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna make this my first one. And so, but obviously since then I've done my PC up. Okay, so I've got much better sort of equipment now, and then I started to build up, and I got better at editing. So now it's like much more fluid movement. I was like, right, okay, I think this is probably the best time for us to come back to the show now. So that's the reason why there is no season 1. All the footage is shockingly terrible. It's unusable in a sense where it would actually be good. At the time, again, Charlie was also young. He was a teenager. He was watching it. He at points was emotive, but then he was like, for about a good 15 minutes, and then he'd then be like, I'd be like, yeah, no, what do you think of that bit? It's crazy, Charlie. He'd be like, yeah, no, I don't know, I think so. And it's like, fucking say it with your chest. But he never did. So now going forward, now he's older, he's more loud, he's got more, more to him. And with the fact that I've been able to develop my own skills and software and my setup, now it's like, it feels like the perfect time. So overall, this video is just a little back update to how I feel about the show, what I think of it, why there is no season 1 mainly, and what's going forward. So going forward now, we're starting with Tenant, the Christmas Invasion. Going forward from that, that's where we're going with that. And he's I think he's looking forward to it. So that's what we're going to do. He thoroughly enjoyed Eccleston, as did I. I love Eccleston. I think he's a great version of the Doctor. I really do wish we had good footage of the empty child and the Doctor dances. I think that's when we got the best footage, as you'd imagine. But alas, it's a shame, but we haven't. So so going forward now, it's just going to be it's Tenant, and I will, as we go forward, obviously I've seen them all, I'll give my bits and pieces as well, but it will be mainly him reacting. But then again, I am an emotive person, so through it, and again, this isn't my favourite era, so I don't come back to it as much. So things are surprising to me now. Even when I watched season 1, I was like, oh shit, yeah, this happened. So yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it there then, guys. So going forward, this is just a little intro just to explain why there's no season 1. And I've somehow made it me yapping for about 9 minutes. So anyway, so I'm just going to leave it there, guys. So I hope that you enjoy the reaction videos coming up to do with Doctor Who. And if you do, obviously subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment underneath, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I'll see you out there.